Hey y'all, let's give the UNSC Army some love today, shall we? In particular, we're going to talk about a little discussed group of operators within the branch, Army Rangers. We all know about the Spartans, the orbital drop shock troopers, the Orions, and understandably so, of course, you play as a Spartan for every first-person Halo game, save for ODST, where you play as an ODST. Furthermore, Johnson was literally a part of the Orion project, hence why he's such a badass. And where do we see the UNSC Army Rangers? Well, nowhere major, really. Outside of some troopers and tip of the spear, as suggested by the Spartan Field Manual, we just don't see them. When we do see a character that is a Ranger, they're a former Ranger turned Spartan 4, think Sigrid Eklund. But let me tell you, the UNSC Army Rangers are nothing short of legends in their own right. Real quick, just thought I'd remind y'all that I do have a birthday subathon coming up, June 24th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard. You get to torture me for a minimum of 4 hours and a maximum of 24 hours. I'll be streaming on YouTube. All of the info's on my community board, but there is a little video about it too. Alright, to the lore. The UNSC's Army Rangers serve a variety of roles within the wider UNSC, everything from supporting resistance movements on occupied worlds to long-term counterinsurgency falls under their purview. But what makes them stand out when compared to, say, an orbital drop shock trooper or a Spartan? Specialty. Unlike ODSTs, who serve as shock troops, or Spartans, who are reserved for only the most daring and high-risk, high-reward operations, Rangers play a much more delicate role. They don't get in, tear up the pavement, and get out. Actually, they get in, set up shop in the enemy's walls, and get comfortable for a long period of time. Let's say there's a planet under duress from rampant banished piracy, a planet that the UNSC can't exactly dedicate many resources to. Well, there's a solution here. Teams of Army Rangers can insert via an OWL where they will get their bearings and assess the state of things on the ground. From there, these Rangers will have 3 priorities. 1. Reconnaissance, intelligence gathering. Any information that could be useful, they want it and they'll get it. 2. Establish a quiet but semi-permanent presence on the ground, something firm to plant their feet on. 3. Assess, train, equip, and advise local groups that can resist occupation or raids. With time, this distressed colony will go from a helpless amalgamation of terrified settlements to a seasoned, hardened network of fighters and cells able to make the banished's life a living nightmare. This is a role they've been playing since the darkest days of the Covenant War. Just to put an emphasis on this, these are individuals that were voluntarily heading to Covenant-occupied planets to organize survivors and set up groups to fight back. They braved glasslands, plasma, and hellfire with very little hope of extraction or help should things go wrong. These guys have balls of steel. Rangers will also place sensors in areas in importance, allowing groups such as the Office of Naval Intelligence to monitor the opposition in real time. Their teams of snipers, especially lethal even by the UNSC's high standards, will observe and take the heads of high-value targets. Prior to the advent of Spartan 4s, ONI Section 3's Delta 6 Division recruited solely from the Army's pool of veteran Rangers. Some of the UNSC's most noteworthy Spartan 4s hail from the Rangers, as a matter of fact. As mentioned, Eklund. She was a Ranger. Speaking of Spartans, it isn't uncommon for Spartans to work alongside Rangers. At present, the most noteworthy engagement we've seen the Rangers partake in would be the defense of Concord in December of 2551. The aforementioned Eklund, alongside fellow Rangers, worked with the Concordian militia to drive the Covenant off the planet. They survived numerous localized glassings, skirmishes, and their Ranger sniper teams were of particular trouble for the occupiers. The conflicts came to a head when the Joint Army-Militia Coalition drove the Covenant from most major cities before regrouping at a collection of planetside mass drivers. From there, these drivers were used to pick at a small collection of orbiting Covenant warships, softening them up just enough for a UNSC Navy battlegroup to earn an exceedingly rare victory in space. Noble Team, yes, that Noble Team, would go on to finish the fight in the town of Scathy, allowing Concord to be one of the few planets to see a direct invasion from the Covenant and come out alive and intact. In conclusion, although we have very little on the UNSC Army Rangers, what we do have is both noteworthy and exciting. It would be great to see them appear in a book someday, or hell, in a game. I mean, technically they have appeared in a book, Winter Contention, whole other thing. Even if they are just NPCs with your run-of-the-mill Marine AI, it would still be fucking great, kinda like having ODSTs and Marines with you in the older games. What do you guys think? I'll see all of you in the Cosmos, friends.